This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(8:45). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news, edited by Danushka Madhwala and read by Indrani Senanayaka. The headlines. The distribution of domestic LP gas cylinders has commenced. The gas companies were authorized to distribute gas under strict conditions. The Prime Minister instructed the relevant officials to identify and solve the issues faced by the small and medium-scale businessmen. The remains of Sri Lankan national Priyantha Kumara, who was lynched by a mob in Pakistan, reached the island. The colleague of the Sialkot factory manager has been saluted for his moral courage and bravery to try to rescue the Sri Lankan national from the vigilante mob. The health authorities request the public to get vaccinated at the first possible opportunity. In foreign news, Russian president to arrive in India to boost military energy ties. Litrogas Lanka Limited has commenced the distribution of domestic LP gas cylinders. The Consumer Affairs Authority said that the new stock of LP gas cylinders can be identified by the polythene seal of the gas cylinder valves, which will carry a red logo on a white background. Following a discussion held yesterday with State Minister Lasantha Alagiyawanna, Litrogas Lanka Limited and Laughs Gas plc, the two largest suppliers of LP gas in Sri Lanka, had agreed to resume the supply of domestic LP gas, conforming to the guidelines of the Consumer Affairs Authority. The Consumer Affairs Authority on December the 4th gave its approval to release liquefied petroleum gas to the market under 3 conditions. A decision was taken to commence distribution of domestic gas with effect from yesterday under 3 conditions. The companies were instructed to not release previously imported LP gas stocks to the market. Adding mercaptan to the new stocks before they are released to the market, enabling the consumers to identify any leaks by the deodorant, and testing 1 per every 100 gas cylinders during the manufacturing process, sterilizing and producing them to the CAA. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa instructed the relevant officials to identify and solve the problems faced by the small and medium-scale businessmen. The Premier instructed them today to increase the grace period given to the businesses affected by the coronavirus pandemic. The businessmen informed of their grievances to the Prime Minister at a meeting held at the Parliamentary Complex today. The Prime Minister focused his attention on the problems of the businessmen and instructed the officials to protect the business community and the consumers as well. Adnan Malik, a colleague of Sialkot factory manager Priyantha Kumara, has been saluted for his moral courage and bravery to try to rescue the Sri Lankan national from the vigilante mob. In recognition of demonstrating exemplary bravery, Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan has announced the Medal of Bravery for Adnan Malik after heartening footage came to the fore showing him trying to protect his colleague. In a tweet on social media platform Twitter on Sunday, PM Imran Khan said, "On behalf of the nation, I want to salute the moral courage and bravery of Malik Adnan, who tried his utmost to shelter and save Priyantha Kumara from the vigilante mob in Sialkot, endangering his own life by physically trying to shield the victim. We will present him the Tangha-e-Sujat Award." This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Sri Lanka Insurance Motor Plus, the best option.
We continue with local news. According to the Epidemiology Unit of the Health Ministry, 568 new COVID-19 cases were reported today. According to the report, a total of 568,250 COVID cases have been reported since the beginning of the pandemic. The Director General of Health Services has confirmed another 23 coronavirus-related deaths on November the 5th, raising the country's death toll due to the COVID pandemic to 14,484. The deaths reported today include 15 males and 8 female patients, but 3 of the deceased are between the ages of 30 to 59 years. The remaining 20 victims are in the age group of 60 years and above. The total number of COVID-19 recoveries in Sri Lanka has risen to 542,688, while 10,533 infected patients are currently undergoing treatment island-wide. The health authorities request the public to get vaccinated at the first possible opportunity. They say that the main way of controlling the spread of the virus is vaccination. The vaccination process is being carried out island-wide at present. According to the Epidemiology Unit, the report so far, the total number of vaccinated people stand at 15,943,166. They have received the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, and 13,766,200 have received the second dose. In addition, 946,051 have received the third booster dose. Next, we take a look at the main news story.
In 200 meters, turn left.
This is not just my daily commute. I drive to power my nation's future. Sri Lanka Insurance Motor Plus introduces specialized motor insurance for you who drive our nation forward. Choose tailor-made insurance solutions, up to 75,000 rupees claim settlements within 3 working hours. Exclusive discounts through Motor Plus loyalty rewards, easy and 0% interest payment plans. Only from Sri Lanka Insurance.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The remains of Sri Lankan national Priyantha Kumara, who was lynched by a mob in Pakistani's Punjab province, reached the island this afternoon. The body was repatriated today, even as Pakistani authorities arrested more suspects involved in the grisly incident that shocked people across the world. The remains were airlifted by Sri Lankan Airlines flight UL-186 at 12:30 p.m. from Lahore and arrived at the BIA in Katunayake at 5 p.m. The officials of the Sri Lanka High Commission arrived in Lahore early this morning, and the body was handed over to them at the Lahore airport by Punjab Minorities Minister Ijaz Alam. The body was transported on the Sri Lankan airline flight. A Punjab government official told PTI. Kumar was working as general manager in Rajco Industries, which deals in sportswear, for the last 7 years. The horrific incident sparked outrage across Pakistan, with all sections of the society condemning it and calling for the culprits to be punished. According to the post-mortem report, nearly all his bones were broken and his body was 99% burnt in the horrific lynching incident. Kumar had gone to Pakistan in 2011 after he got a job as a mechanical engineer at an apparel factory in Faisalabad. After a year, he joined Sialkot's Rajco Industries as its general manager and was the only Sri Lankan national working in the factory. He is survived by his wife and 2 sons, aged 14 and 9. That was the main news story. Watchlight follows.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watchlight is brought to you by
Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission.
Litrogas Lanka Limited has commenced the distribution of domestic LP gas cylinders conforming to the requirements of the Consumer Affairs Authority. The Consumer Affairs Authority said the new stock of LP gas cylinders can be identified by the polythene seal, which will carry a red logo on a white background. That was Watchlight. A bulletin of world news will follow.
Select technical and vocational courses with proper guidance. Visit regional career guidance centers or visit nearest district divisional secretariat offices and meet career guidance practitioners or skills development officers. Be aware on unregistered institute which promote widely. Don't waste your valuable time and money. Visit www.tvec.gov.lk for more information. Message from Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission.
Coming up, world news. The headlines. Russian president to arrive in India to boost military and energy ties. South Africa readies hospitals as Omicron variant drives new COVID-19 wave. Afghan Taliban government pledges to solve problems for traders. Russian President Vladimir Putin arrived in India today for his second overseas trip since the pandemic, seeking to bolster military and energy ties with a traditional ally being courted by the United States. In its efforts to address a rising China, Washington has set up the Quad security dialogue with India, Japan and Australia, raising concerns in Beijing and Moscow. India was close to the Soviet Union during the Cold War, a relationship that has endured, with New Delhi calling it a special and privileged strategic partnership. President Cyril Ramaphosa said South Africa is preparing its hospitals for more admissions as the Omicron coronavirus variant pushes the country into a fourth wave of COVID-19 cases. Omicron was first detected in southern Africa last month and has triggered a global alarm as governments fear another surge in infections. South Africa's daily infection surged last week to more than 16,000 on Friday, from roughly 2,300 today. Ramaphosa said in a weekly newsletter that Omicron appeared to be dominating new cases in most of the country's 9 provinces and urged more people to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Acting Deputy Prime Minister of the Taliban caretaker government in Afghanistan, Abdul Salam Hanafi, has pledged to address all problems faced by Afghan traders, a statement from his office said today. In meeting with traders here, Hanafi said that the Taliban administration would do its best to find an amicable solution to the problems of traders and business persons. Since the Taliban's takeover of Afghanistan in mid-August, the United States has reportedly frozen more than $9 billion of assets of Afghanistan's central bank and thus undermined the banking system in the war-torn country. To end this bulletin of world news, headlines again. Russian president arrives in India to boost military and energy ties. South Africa readies hospitals as Omicron variant drives new COVID-19 wave. Afghan Taliban government pledges to solve problems for traders. That ends this bulletin of world news. Development news follows.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070-400-1928.
Accounting for 65% of all national exports and 85% of all national industrial exports, the Board of Investment today announced that total export earnings recorded as at date for the year, enterprises under the preview have surpassed export revenues with the corresponding year-to-date value achieved in 2019. The year 2019 is regarded as the last recorded year of pre-COVID growth and is considered a base year to measure absolute performance and growth by for subsequent years. That was development news. A look at sports news next.
Development News was brought to you by The coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Moving on with sports news. India wrapped up a crushing 372-run win over New Zealand with 5 sessions to spare in the second test to complete a 1-0 series victory. Resuming on 140 for 5 in pursuit of a nominal 540 in Mumbai, New Zealand were bowled out for 167 as the last 5 wickets fell for 5 runs in 30 balls. Jayant Yadav, playing his first test since 2017, took 4 wickets today to finish with a 4 for 49, while fellow off-spinner Ravichandran Ashwin claimed 4 for 34 and a remarkable 8 for 42 in the match. That was sports news. Business news is up next.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Donald Trump's new social media firm says it has entered into agreements to raise $1 billion from investors ahead of a planned stock market listing. The Trump Media and Technology Group is working to launch a social media app called Truth Social early next year. It comes as Mr. Trump remains banned from Twitter and Facebook following the attack on the US Capitol in January. That was Business News. Economic News follows.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
On to economic news. Selinco VIP on the spot paid 437 million rupees for serious illnesses of its motor policy holders. All Selinco VIP on the spot motor policy holders who insure their vehicles with Selinco VIP are automatically entitled to an exclusive 1 million rupees serious illness cover that will reimburse medical costs incurred in the treatment of heart disease, cancer, kidney failure, stroke, and several other serious illnesses. That was economic news. Finally, a look at the weather report. This is the weather report. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the southern, western, Sabaragamuwa, central, northwestern, Uvo and north central provinces and in the Vavuniya and Mannar districts during the evening or at night. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the Sabaragamuwa, central and Uvo provinces during the morning. That was the weather report. To end tonight's news broadcast, the headlines again. The distribution of domestic LP gas cylinders has commenced. The gas companies were authorized to distribute gas under strict conditions. The Prime Minister instructed the relevant officials to identify and solve the issues faced by the small and medium-scale businessmen. The remains of Sri Lankan national Priyantha Kumara, who was lynched by a mob in Pakistan, reached the island. The colleague of the Sialkot factory manager has been saluted for his moral courage and bravery to try to rescue the Sri Lankan national from the vigilante mob. The health authorities request the public to get vaccinated at the first possible opportunity, and in foreign news, Russian president to arrive in India to boost military and energy ties. That ends tonight's news broadcast.